Hey you, are you a gamer? Bullshit. If you were a true gamer, you'd have yourself a tub of Gamer Supps. Gamer Supps is a great sponsor. They're really nice to me. I really like their product. It tastes fantastic. And you know what? They even like you, which is why if you use code Bricky for the next 72 hours, you get free international shipping for orders over $30. Do you know how much a tub is? A little over $30. Buy flavors, buy shakers, buy everything. I want my own damn cup and I want my own damn flavor. I'm gonna call it Anime Ab Sweat. If the Russian Badger can make guacamole gamer fart 9000, I know I can get away with this. Use code Bricky for your free international shipping, and if the window is up by the time you see this video, don't worry, it'll still give you a discount. Hello everybody, my name is Bricky, currently experiencing bankrupting surgery because I jumped when Potemkin had meter. Here's the deal. I don't much like fighting games. And the last time I went really hard into a fighting game was Mortal Kombat 9, and it wasn't the supreme mechanics that got me to buy that game. I also don't like anime, and I don't really need to explain this one, but let me just say that listening to 10 hours of May getting Potemkin busted is therapeutic to me. So with that, why is Guilty Gear Strive one of the best fighting games I have played and one of the games I played the most of in 2021 despite owning it for only about a little more than a month? I had never heard of this game before. I knew of one character from this game. One, her name was Biken, and it wasn't her complexive moveset that got me to learn about Biken. I was fucking clueless, and it wasn't until my Twitch chat all joined together in a harmonious choir singing Chip's theme that I finally ended up going and checking out the OST. And the OST is a heroin needle, because once you get that shit in you, it is a gateway to buying Guilty Gear Strive. And that I did. And I went in, did some training missions, did a little bit of the tutorial, and then did what every good game reviewer should do and try out the story mode. The story mode. Even with my low interest in fighting games, I do buy the Mortal Kombats that come out because the story modes tend to be some batshit insane B-movie, really bad, but also kind of bad fun plot. And it had decent enough gameplay that made me legitimately excited to try out said story mode. So I was expecting something maybe a little bit similar with Guilty Gear because people kept telling me, oh, Guilty Gear is insane, it's crazy, it's a totally wacky, weird game, and I was excited for a similar campaign. I did not get that. There is no gameplay, it is just an anime. It is literally a season of an anime that is the entire story mode. And I don't like anime to begin with, but even so, it's not great. The animation isn't just bad, it's particularly terrible. The voice acting is a little hit or miss, and honestly, the game is so dumb that I almost liked it. Almost. So I don't know how to pronounce the creative director's name for this game, but I'm gonna call him Daisuke because I can make this joke.
Daisuke Raise! Daisuke Raise!
But his vision is one of inconsistent success. Daisuke may have a vision, but he might also be legally blind. You know in Metal Gear Rising and Devil May Cry 5 where it becomes so incredibly dumb, it actually becomes great? Guilty Gear is that like 70% of the time. Sometimes it's just dumb. And often that dumbness is relating to the story itself. When it pulls it off is with its fantastic cast of characters. Strive's biggest asset is its character roster, by far. Now the soundtrack as well, but the soundtrack mixes with the characters, so they're kind of all one homogeneous thing. They do something I call the Bloodborne approach, where instead of having a huge roster of characters that are all maybe only a little different, they have a smaller roster, but every single character is unique, well-designed, and plays differently. Now you could call this quality over quantity, but I wanted to mention Bloodborne, so fuck you. Strive's roster is just magnificent. Each character plays unique, looks unique, and has so much more underneath the surface that I didn't expect. Say, take May. May looks like a little girl, is actually in her 20s. And you see her and you think, haha, funny SeaWorld girl, dolphin pirate lady, haha. But then you look into her lore and you realize that she's Japanese, which means she has superpowers. Because Japan, in the Guilty Gear universe, is a fucking crater. Japan does not exist. It's gone. and she has superpowers and depression. Let me reiterate, there is no Japan. Daisuke, are you projecting? Chip is our resident ninja character. Would you believe me if I told you Chip was American? Would you believe me if I told you that Chip was a recovering drug addict, and in a way to help fix his drug addiction, he decided he wanted to become a ninja. And so he did it. He went and became a ninja. And then he became the president of an African kingdom. Chip, American, recovering drug addict, ninja, African president. And here I thought Axel would be the one owning Africa. Shit, Ino is supposed to be the horny ass character, but she's just super depressed. Everyone in this fucking roster is depressed. Everyone is competing for the Olympic gold medal of God, I fucking hate my life. And this is actually where the over-the-topness succeeds. This is at 70%. Each character acts kind of all positive and their soundtracks sound positive, but deep down they're broken in their own way and sometimes in a way that's really relatable. Milia has this story about accepting who she is. Ino is about spending all of your life trying to find something and never actually living. Leo is dealing with the horrors of war and PTSD. Soul is just wife gone and regret on a constant loop, and I'm not even gonna fucking get started on Faust. But then you go into the game, and it's just Garuda impact my prostate. Get the fuck down from there, you bitch! It'll be my turn soon. See, Guilty Gear operates on a really easy to understand but hard to master formula. It's what you assume when you see a traditional fighting game, right? You've got punch, kick, heavy attack, medium attack, you've got down attacks and overhead attacks, blocking is holding back, and all of your inputs are some form of quarter circle or half circle. A lot of people who play Guilty Gear see the game as something that's really easy to pick up and learn. This is half true. As someone who didn't really play many fighting games, it actually took me quite a while to get the hang of it, but I feel like if you are at least somewhat well versed in this genre, it would be a lot easier to understand. The training missions and tutorial weren't particularly stellar, and nothing will ever beat the Killer Instinct on the Xbox One tutorial, but because the game is so normal, so to speak, it doesn't take you long to kind of translate experience into it. Punches and kicks are fast, slash and heavy slash is slow. If your opponent is blocking standing up, hit them low. If they're blocking low, do an overhead. Grabs get you through a block and don't get stuck in a corner from Foot Coomer Mascot. But in this allows for depth. And when you start to understand this, you begin to learn your special moves and such. And intelligently, almost every special move is some kind of quarter circle forward or backwards and one of the main 4 buttons. This makes it really easy to try out a new character because then you can just do quarter circles backwards and forwards with different buttons and you'll get some things. Obviously, it's not as good as learning the full character, but if I'm playing a character that has a quarter circle forward kick, then I'm pretty sure another character will have a similar input. It'll do something different, but they'll have it. Same thing for the supers. Almost every super is either a half circle forward and then input, or double quarter circle. It's actually super easy to get the hang of. Often I'll be playing a character and I just do not remember what the input is for their super, so I'll just start doing half circle forwards on one of the 4 buttons and I'll eventually get it. And then after that, you'll learn about, blue bursts and gold bursts and car cancels, Roman cancels, and then you'll start committing combos to memory. Easy to learn, hard to master, but rewarding for doing so. Hey, what does Chip's mom say to him when he's had too much ice cream? God damn it, Chip, that's enough. Buy my merch. At this point comes the question. How do I pick a character, or which character is for me? Luckily for you, Strive remembers a very important, fundamental part of video games. People will play your game if it looks good. You think people play Destiny for fun? If Strive has one thing over a lot of the fighting game market, it's that it looks gorgeous and it has a unique art direction. That's the more important part, because sure, the graphics might be better in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, but the art direction sells the game. All of the good animation got sucked out of the story mode and thrown into the actual gameplay because the animation in the game is incredibly well done. The movements are crisp and clean, the attacks have weight and they register well, and the supers almost entirely look fantastic. Each fighter moves and operates in a way unique to them. Their personality is present in their movements. What a concept! Jacko resident crouching pose meme is kind of XD so random girl, which I'm not really a big fan of, but her animations really sell her as that XD so random girl. I may not be a big fan of that kind of person, but the animations look good and they display her personality for all to see really well. But then we get to the music. Oh god. Oh fuck.
I stopped counting so long ago. Enemies keep calling after me. Through the darkest sky, throw before the light, like a cry for the moon. Never ending ride, forgot what I want. Never felt my heart beat. Strike back, get them out of your way. You don't care if along the way's a little sacrifice. Strike back, get them out of your way. Don't melt in the world, find your own way. Trigger, don't be curious about me. I don't want you to get hurt. Watch out, keep your hands up. Don't make a big deal out of me.
I get the Game Awards are kind of a joke, not to be taken seriously like the Oscars and all that, but the only competition this game has for music at this moment is Near Replicant. Besides that, I mean, come on. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Daisuke decided not to come out with an OST or with a soundtrack. He came out with a fucking album. It is the only thing I've listened to for practically the past month, because even though they're all variations of rock and stuff mostly, they have variety. I unironically blew my fucking voice out by screaming the end of Zato 1's theme in my car a few weeks back. How am I going to walk into Home Depot and buy my lunch without blasting Armor-Clad Faith? Pleasing to play is so important. The feeling of playing it, the character design, the art direction, the music, it all culminates in this feeling that you're playing the next age of a fighting game. And that's from me, who doesn't really like fighting games. Which does lead us to an important question. Bricky, you don't play or particularly like fighting games very much. Why should I take your opinion seriously as you're basically reviewing a fighting game? Well, to an extent, you shouldn't. I am not good at these games. I am not a top tier player. This game could be a mess in its pro scene. It could be horribly unbalanced. It could have all the pro players saying they're so sick of it, they're ready to quit after 1 month. It's stale, it's this, it's that, it's all those things. But I'm not a pro player. And most likely, neither are you. See, fighting games, since the dawn of time, have always been the most fun when you're just okay at them. You're not bad, you might even be good, but you're not top level. Floors 6 and 7. 6 and 7 is the epitome of strive, where the game doesn't break down from problems and everyone still has a really good time and every character is somewhat usable. So the answer is, why listen to me or them? If you're a top tier player looking to compete, you've already bought this game. But I'm trying to impress onto you the fact that this is a genre of game that I do not like, with a style, anime, that I do not like, that I have been dieharding for the past month. I am Squidward, and Guilty Gear Strive is the tiny piece of motherfucking Krabby Patty that he took a bite out of. And I'm running right back into the vault, blasting Subhuman Self, and I'm ready to go 0-30. And I'm so okay with it. This is why the surface level stuff is so important. The graphics, the art direction, the music. I walked into this game thinking I was gonna main Giovanna and Faust, because Faust was kind of a wacky wahoo weird doctor man, and Giovanna was a sexy Brazilian secret agent.
What the dog doing?
Will you cut that out?
I ended up maining Milia and Nago. Nago for his immense drip and his rewarding playstyle for accurate spacing and managing his blood rage. And Milia is my favorite character in the game because Subhuman Self is a banger, double air dashing is a drug, hair car, and she's wider than a 6-lane freeway.
White woman spotted.
Don't blame me, dude. Fighting game characters are just hot. They always make them hot. They know what they're doing. The difference is that I go onto my fucking YouTube videos and I tell it to your face. I have no shame. I'd let Zato peg me. You're saying you wouldn't? Guilty Gear Strive is possibly my favorite fighting game ever. It is unironically a top 3 game of the year for me so far. It respects new players but has a lot to learn. Its character roster, while small, is incredibly diverse and interesting, and they play very nicely. It looks good, it sounds really good, and overall I'd say it is absolutely worth your time and money. If I had anything that I would like to change about the gameplay system, I would make it first to 3 instead of first to 2. I think the games are a little too short, and I think everyone needs a little bit of a health buff. I think that the health in general is a little too small, and that the entire roster should get maybe a 15% health increase. That being said, that's my armchair developer statements. I have no idea if that'll be good or not. Point being, I've had more fun with 3 stocks instead of 2, so yeah. Thank you everyone so much for watching this Guilty Gear Strive video. I'm so glad I'm back. I'm so glad my strep throat has been fixed. If you'd like to buy some merchandise, this is our newest one. Life can be hard, and that's okay. He's sleeping, not dead, don't worry. And you know, Chip's theme made me think of this because Chip's theme is super motivational. A huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. You are all fantastic, and let me answer a few of your questions if they're actually questions this time. Bricky, have you played Splitgate yet? Not yet. I might at some point, but I haven't decided yet. Are you Savathun? No, but I did commission this image. You can find it on Twitter in the description. You're welcome. Man, depressing games and femboys. Is there anything Poland doesn't have? Yep, that's enough of that today. I'll see you next video. Garuda impact my prostate! Get the fuck down from there, you bitch! It'll be my turn soon.